Hey, it's David Baer, and in this video, we're going to take a look at writing content using artificial intelligence. Now, if you're familiar with artificial intelligence writing, then you probably know a little bit of the history. We started seeing a lot of buzz online around one particular tool currently known as Jasper.ai, though back in March, April 2021, when they first emerged, they were called Conversion AI, then Jarvis AI, and now they are Jasper AI. But that's a story for another video. The thing about that tool is it's a market leader because it solves problems for lots of different types of content. And some it does a little bit better than others, but it's grown a giant enthusiastic community in support of their tool and AI writing in general. One of the areas where artificial intelligence can be incredibly helpful at speeding up the writing process is in content writing for blogs and articles, things that you want to use to attract traffic through search engine optimization. But there's an inherent problem with a lot of the tools that are out there because they're built to help you generate content, generate ideas. They may not be built specifically to solve the problem of ranking your blog post or article on Google. So there is another set of AI writing tools that have emerged really to help solve this particular problem. The one that I have been very excited about thus far is something called outranking, and it really is built with an intelligent approach of analyzing all of the other blogs and articles and other destinations which are already ranking for keywords you're trying to rank for yourself, and then allows you to step-by-step manually walk through the process of building something that is going to compete with those other sites that are already ranked for those keywords. Now, you may have picked up on the fact that I said manually. There's a big challenge here because a lot of these AI writing tools, while they save you time, still involve a good amount of human activity to optimize and make decisions about exactly how the content is going to flow. So this is why I got so excited when I was contacted by the folks over at a new tool called Content at Scale, which is really designed to do the bulk of the heavy lifting for you when it comes to SEO specific content. Now, the idea behind this tool is that it virtually replaces content writers altogether. And what it does is it's a tool that's designed to generate long form blog posts, specifically 2,600 words or more, which really speaks to the preference of Google in terms of the things that it tends to rank most highly. The common number for the length of an article or a blog post in the number one position on Google, as I'm recording this, is somewhere around 3,500 words. And so if you can be closer to that rather than the typical 300 to 500 words that a tool like Jasper generates on its first try, right? And then you have to do the additional supplemental work to get that number much higher, let alone all of the additional search engine optimization work on that piece, right? This is a tool that is designed to address that by generating SEO-focused content and do it almost 100%. Now, I say almost 100% because as you go through the process, you'll see that there's some polishing you're still going to want to do. There may be some language that you're going to want to change, particularly if you're using the content to move somebody from an article into a call to action somewhere. And you want to make sure that the phrasing there is correct. So let's jump inside of content at scale and take a look at exactly what sort of content it generates for you the first time around without doing any editing at all. So here's a post that I put together, and I have done a little bit of touch up, probably about 60 seconds worth of touch up, and I'll show you exactly what I did in a moment. But this is an article called Increase Marketing Agency Client Retention with Strategic Consulting. So this is basically an article that is driving the attention of somebody that I'm trying to attract in my business. I sell to marketing agencies. The idea is to get them to say, oh, I'm looking for a way to retain my clients for a longer period of time. I know that's a hot topic in the marketing agency space. And the article that it then generated was a 2,300 word article, and it gives me some of the detail of optimization about some of the typical keywords. There's also a checklist about how well things are optimized. And when I said I did about 60 seconds of work, I went back and I changed a little bit in the title and meta description, and I pulled in an image. I think those were the only things I did to make some adjustments or improvements. Actually, at the end, I also changed something around how we speak about the call to action. But I just want to show you the way that this is all structured. Now, notice there's things like tweetable sections in here and a little key takeaway. I mean, this is stuff that you don't see certainly in Jasper or any other AI writers, and it really adds a great deal of context and interactivity to an article that you're not going to find in an AI generator that is just giving you sort of the general factual outlines of things. This has really added a lot more personality than I have seen in pretty much any other tool out there. And so at the end, then there's a contact us, and I had to enter a link that I wanted to use as sort of the next step in the process for a call to action. That is pretty darn impressive. Now, having read through this, there's probably one or two areas where I don't think I would have phrased something that way, or I wouldn't have emphasized something so the way that the tool has. But for the most part, this is a blog post that within 5 or 10 minutes, I can take and put right on my website. Now, getting to that final article really did not take a lot of work. There were a couple of things I needed to know in advance and provide some information and some context so that it could write the article as close to what I was looking for and what it would be, appropriate for my website as possible. So, dropping in the website name or the name of my company, I had to explain in general what the connection between the topic of the article was and the general work that we do in our business that helped it sort of frame the content in a way that would make sense in terms of the call to action at the end. Who was the audience? And so in my case, I wrote marketing agency owners. Where are we sending the traffic at the end, telling them, to contact us or, get more information here, that sort of thing. Tone of voice, I think it was informative or instructive or educational or something like that. And then there's some different options in terms of word length. I chose their default, which was the 2,000 to 3,000. On the next page, all I needed to do was to enter the keyword that I wanted the article to focus on. And there's a lot of different ways you can find keywords. The folks at Content at Scale have their recommended approach for identifying keywords that are rankable. And you can do this either one at a time and then provide, context and additional information around that keyword, or you can actually upload a CSV with a bunch of keywords, and then you can generate multiple articles all at one go. It's one keyword per article, of course. Now, the final step is you have your different keywords. All you're going to do is select which keyword you want to create a post for and hit create post. And in about 5 minutes, it was able to generate the first go of the post that it created for me. And then, like I said, it took me another minute or two to polish it up and figure out if there were any changes that I wanted to make. And really, there was very little that I needed to do at that point except take it and post it on my site. Now, Content at Scale has some direct integration. You can actually take a WordPress plugin, apply it directly to your site, and easily transfer all of that content seamlessly right over to your site without having to copy and paste. And they also have some other really good resources on their website, both their blog as well as their content marketing playbook. But here's something that I kind of like about their site, because this is one of the differentiators that I think is important to be aware of, is that as there are more and more of these AI writing tools out there, there's penalization from search engines like Google of those tools that are clearly generating content through AI without some true human intervention. And so this is kind of a marketing, tool for them, because they're demonstrating the quality of their writing versus the quality that you're getting from other AI tools out there. But you can take something that you might generate from a tool that you're currently using, put it into this box, and then get a score for it. And obviously, their point is that the quality of their writing and the clear distinction in terms of style and personality of their writing is not going to show AI influence the way that a typical AI writing tool is likely to send alerts to Google saying, hey, this wasn't written by a human, this was just generated to try to get traffic. So these are things that I certainly highly recommend you check out over at the Content at Scale site, particularly their content marketing playbook, which I think is packed with some really, really good information about how to do content marketing effectively. Now, one last thing which I think is important to discuss is pricing. There's a lot of tools out there which are basically just front-facing versions of the AI-based resource GPT-2, GPT-3, and maybe some other tools that are out there. And on a monthly basis, the investment might be, $50, $75, $100, $150. This tool's a bit more expensive, but I want you to think about what this tool is actually delivering versus those tools. This is really intended to replace a full-time staff writer. And so if you look at the pricing, which tends to be several $100s a month to produce, let's say, 20 or more blog posts, and it gets into the 1,500 range, let's say, to produce 50, 100 blog posts. And I don't know exactly what the pricing and promise of output it's going to be at the point that you're watching this, but the current pricing is sort of in that general range. The cost is a fraction of what you would pay an actual human writer to do the work. And so if you are either a business owner who has been outsourcing your writing, or you are in an agency or a marketing service provider, imagine how little you need to invest compared to hiring somebody to do the work to generate the quality of the type of blog post that I showed you a couple of minutes ago. So remember, it's not apples to apples when it comes to pricing. This is a very different type of tool than pretty much anything I have seen out there in the AI content writing market thus far. Now, if you're interested in Content at Scale, I did want to make you aware of one more thing, and that's that, at least for the time being, when you come through an affiliate link, and I am an affiliate, you actually get 20% more in terms of post credits than you would if you go directly to their site. And so that's a little bit of extra incentive that they have granted to those of us who are affiliates to give you an opportunity to get inside, dig around, and use the tool for yourself. So if you're interested in checking out content at scale, please by all means go ahead and click the link below this video, and it's not only going to bring you over to their site, but at the same price that you would pay if you went directly to them, you actually get 20% more in credits to use their tool than you would going directly. This is David Baer. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to leave them below. Oh hey, before you go, if you liked the video, hit the like button, and if you got a comment, please leave one. And finally, don't forget to subscribe.